Hello everyone, this is Kindi from University of Gondar. In this presentation, I will be discussing whether it is time to move beyond Bloom's taxonomy and explore more modern approaches to learning design. In discussion with my university provost, he raised his concern regarding Bloom's taxonomy. Instructional objectives are boring and do not reflect our diverse learners. So, as a director of instructional design, this raises an important question. Are our traditional frameworks, like Bloom's taxonomy, still effective? What is Bloom's taxonomy? Bloom's taxonomy is a framework used to classify learning objectives into levels, from remembering and understanding to evaluating and creating. It has been widely used in education for decades and is considered a foundational tool in instructional design. One major issue with Bloom's taxonomy is that it presents learning as a hierarchy. It assumes learners must move step by step from lower order thinking to higher order thinking. However, in reality, thinking is not linear, it is dynamic and context based. Learners often analyze, create, and evaluate at the same time. Another concern is that Bloom's taxonomy was developed over 60 years ago. While it remains popular, there is a limited modern research supporting it. It also doesn't fully reflect what we now about the brain learns, especially in digital and interactive environments. The third problem is Bloom's taxonomy assumes that all learners follow the same path. But today's learners are highly diverse with different backgrounds, abilities, and learning preferences. This makes the model less effective in inclusive and modern learning environments. Additionally, Bloom's is largely instructor centered. It focuses on what the teacher wants students to achieve rather than how students usually learn best. Modern learning design emphasizes a learner-centered approach instead. Well, if so, we should have to come up with different approaches. One alternative is Universal Design for Learning or UDL. UDL focuses on providing multiple ways for learning to engage, learn, and demonstrate their understanding. This approach supports accessibility and addresses learner diversity more effectively. Another approach is competency-based learning. This focuses on what learners can actually do with their knowledge. Students progress at their own pace and demonstrate mastery through real-world skills. Another alternative approach is background design. Background design is another useful framework. Instead of starting with content, we start with the desired outcomes, then determine how to assess them, and finally design learning activities. This creates more meaningful and aligned with learning experience. Looking forward, brain-based learning offers a strong alternative. It is based on the research in neuroscience and emphasizing that learning is social, emotional, and interactive. This approach focuses on engagement, motivation, and active participation. My recommendations, rather than completely discarding Bloom's taxonomy, we should move beyond relying on it alone. A better approach is to combine universal design for learning, competency-based learning, and brain-based strategies. In conclusion, learning design should adapt to learners, not force learners into a fixed structure. As education evolves, our framework must evolve as well. Okay, thank you for listening.